Good morning, great morning, wonderful morning, spectacular morning, outstanding morning, magnificent morning. Oh, yes, again, as with every beginning of every call, the reminder of choice that we all have. Remember, you always have a choice. And what is that choice? The choice of thought. You get to choose how you're going to think. You get to choose what you're going to make things mean. You get to choose whether or not you're going to accept, reject ideas, or even to originate ideas. And through that power, if you use it, you can lead your life into a realm where you're in control of it. But see, this is where you've got to do that work. And unfortunately, most people don't do that work. Well, not you here in these calls, not you here with us. See, this is what we talk about here, and this is what we help to remind you of is this power that you have inside of you. So use it and use it as if your life depends on it. You know why? Because it does. So, what have we been studying? We've been studying this beautiful gem here. There's no such thing as self sabotage. And for sure, there is no such thing as self sabotage. It's a lie. You've been fed the lie that you've been battling against yourself, that you're your own worst enemy, that you've got to get out of your own way, or that you're self sabotaging. All of it's a bunch of BS. It's not true. See, what's in the way is not you. What's in the way is the program that's embedded within your subconscious mind. See, that's what you're battling against. And those patterns inside of you, those beliefs that you have, again, they're not you, they are what you've agreed to. And the best part is you get to agree to whatever you want to agree to. So our invitation to you is for you to again absorb and use everything that we're sharing with you so that you can make the changes you seek in your life. All right. So with that being said, we're going to dive into where we are in this big, beautiful gem here. And let's start to use it, shall we? Yes, let's start to use it. All right, so let me go ahead and pull this up here. Now, here we're in the chapter of memory. We've gone through the other higher mental faculties of imagination, perception, reason, will, and now we're going into memory, and then we'll go into even intuition after that. And a big question here, which is a really great question to ask, is what if your past is not as fixed as you believe? And then another beautiful question as well is what if memory is not just a reflection of what happened, but a tool that actively shapes what happens next? Now, both of these questions are powerful because they lead you into a totally different way of thinking. Now, most people assume memory is simply a storage system, a vault that holds everything they've experienced, but memory is not passive, it is a dynamic force. It doesn't just retrieve, it reconstructs. Now, let's think about that. Let's say, like, you do have a memory from your past, and when it's brought into the present, isn't it interesting how it starts to move you? See, that's what it means by, that's what is meant here by being dynamic. It's not just something that sits there, that's passive. Now, your memory influences how you see yourself, what you believe is possible, and how you make decisions. How many of you, for instance, when you've been acting on something and then all of a sudden there's this feeling of, oh, I don't know if I can. See, that's based from memory, that's based from your precedent. The memories you reinforce shape the trajectory of your life. But here's the real question, and this is another really great question. Are your memories serving you or are they keeping you trapped? And the way you'll know is just look at the outcomes of your life. Just look at the results that are happening. Remember, your results always they tell the truth about what's happening inside. Your results meaning how much you earn, what you do for work, your lifestyle. Now, memory is a tool for creating your future. You're not simply recalling the past, you are actively shaping it every time you revisit it. The way you remember events changes based on your current perspective. Now, that's tied to perception. And what does that mean? This means you have a choice. Now, what's interesting is when I first started diving into this material, I didn't see memory as a tool for creating my future. But then when I started to dive into this and analyze it, to reassess it, I began to see it. And again, this is the invitation that we have for you. Now, here's another great set of questions. Do you use your memory to empower you or to keep you bound to limitations? Remember, you don't have to consent to things as they are. You don't have to consent to the precedent. Are you using your memory, or is your memory being used in a way that keeps you stuck or moving forward? The whole point is whatever that perception is, that's what's going to lead to the vibratory state you're in, which then will lead to the things that you physically do, which then will lead to your outcomes. Now, here's another great question. What if your memories are not facts, but stories you've been repeating? Now, sit in that for a moment. What if they're not facts, but stories you've been repeating? Now, here's another one. Now, this one, I love this question a lot. What if the way you remember your past is not the only version of the truth? Now, sit in that for a moment. What if the way you remember your past is not the only version of the truth? See, this is why memory is so powerful. It doesn't just affect how you see yourself, it directs how you move forward. What do you remember about that? What's your perception about what happened in your memory? Now, think about this. Every time you relive a past failure, every time you strengthen its hold on you. But every time you focus on a moment of resilience, a time when you overcame something difficult, you reinforce something that's related to strength instead. Now, what does this point out? What does this point out? Well, this, the choice is always yours. Type that in the comments. The choice is always mine. The choice is always mine. The choice is always yours. It's always yours. It's always going to be yours. It always has been yours, and it always will be yours. But see, this is where, again, use comes into play. This is where application comes into play. Well, okay, am I going to use my power to give meaning to amazing things and give different meanings to things that are in my memory? Or am I going to continue with the old patterns? Now, when you fixate on certain memories, you strengthen the neural pathways associated with them. If those memories are tied to doubt, regret, or shame, they will color how you see yourself. But if you choose to reinforce memories of strength, success, and growth, you will rewire your mind to align with that version of yourself. Now, I want you to notice how there's a choice. I want you to notice how you get to decide how you're going to think. Now, again, sit in that for a moment. The choice is always yours. Now, here's another great question. What if your past has been influencing your present more than you realize? Now, again, that's a really great question to ask. What if the memories you've been clinging to are not only shaping your identity, but dictating your future? If memory is shaping your future, what memories are you choosing to focus on? Gee, these are another set of really great questions to ask. But now, before we go further, before we move into the rest of this, for those of you who are watching this live stream, if you would love to watch more of this and watch these lives to the end and also access the replays, then go to elevitality.com and register for Master Your Mind. You'll thank yourself later.